Hi guys, welcome to another Witchin Hour on Coven Radio. Hope everyone's doing well. I can see we've got Retro and Nikki here already, and Jiggly. Thanks for joining. Oh, and Kev's here.
Nobody wants him.
No, always starting early.
Nobody wants Kev here.
How are you anyway, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was rushing home, so I'm sorry I'm a bit late.
Oh, it's fine. We've basically been playing Frisky's music, so everyone's happy with that. So
That's good.
yeah,
Risky's music is always good.
I know we've had. I just say if anyone's interested, it's on Spotify. It's called Anime and Cupcakes. That album. He's such a talented dude. So yeah, if anyone wants to go and have a little listen. But yeah, so what's the news with you?
Not much. I was just taking care of certain family stuff, so I just literally got home and I was rushing. I was trying to text you. I'm like,
I know it's hot. I hate that
I'm
feeling of
driving.
rushing. It was horrible.
Yeah, there was so much traffic. Like there's never traffic, but today there was in the road I took. So it's all right.
Yeah,
I got
that's
here.
always the way. I'm always rushing. I don't think I ever do anything at normal pace.
Oh, at one point, I was hitting like 120 getting here.
Is that kilometers or miles?
Miles.
Brilliant. Okay, maybe not say that publicly. It's like we hear the woo-hoo sirens pulling out.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I left earlier. When I left earlier today, I went to go do something, and I don't know. I was just speeding. I am always speeding. So there was a cop behind me. I didn't even notice it. I just kind of noticed it like from the corner of my eye, and he was definitely after me. And there was this there's this thing called Quick Check around here in Jersey that it's like a gas station known for like sandwiches and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I noticed that he was coming after me, so I turned on the road like really quickly. Like I got in front of this truck and then I just turned on the road and he couldn't like figure out where I went.
Oh my god,
Literally just went like around.
you're doing a Jason Statham on
And
him.
yeah, I
Like,
did. I did. It was amazing. It was great because when I got out back into the road, he wasn't anywhere near. So he must have just kept going straight, which is great.
oh my god.
I still hit another 120 in the car. It's all right.
Oh my god.
I had to get somewhere fast.
Please don't
I was already running
trying
late.
to host Coven Radio. Like, I feel like I don't want to have to use a Ouija board in order to host together. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like that would. I know it would be really on brand, but I feel like that would not be a thing.
Yeah, I'm always driving. I have a heavy foot since I was.
Yeah, Jace
I've
calls me a
always
bit of a
been like,
lead foot. He's like,
yeah.
oh, you've got
I
lead
just
feet.
like driving fast. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but you've got fast
And I
cars.
have fast
That's okay.
cars.
I know. They're made to be drive by. It's like
They're meant to be
they're
driven.
meant to be driven.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, my news today is I think I may have like done some very serious damage. You can't see how swollen my finger is, but Sansa decided to do a little switcheroo on me at lunchtime and my finger got twisted in the lead. It's very painful. It's very blue. It's very swollen. So just to add to make life even harder, I can't actually grip anything with my left hand now. So yeah, there we go. Never mind. But yeah, so any Rebel Ant news before we get our guest on?
No. So actually, yes, there is something. We started moving all the images out of Bueno. We put them into.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we brought them into our own hosting site. So that's happening. So
That's happening.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Which is great because now we'll be able to like really get control of what we have.
Yeah. So you'll have more control over the collection and
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
you want to change or do and all the
Yeah,
messages.
I mean
and
the
stuff.
rest of the other collections that we have, except for the Voice of Echoes one, which is within OpenSea, we did it through them. So that's the only one that's actually out of Bueno. But V2 is out of Bueno now. Well, is getting out of Bueno now. And
so you're
then
hosting these yourself? Is that what you're going to
yeah,
do?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
How do you do that? You've just bought a domain and kind of like.
Yeah, no, well, I made an account with Pinata, so we're just moving everything there.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
better for us. Like it's just
Yeah.
easier for us to maintain and do. But V1s is still within Bueno. I mean, they've been very good to us. It's just that I just wanted the control of it because of everything that we're doing. I think it's easier for us to just have total control of, our collection. So, yeah.
I
I might
It's
be a little bit under the influence, Vicky. I just want you to know, just in
oh
case.
no. Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
goodness.
yeah. It happened
Okay. It's happened.
before I did what I had to do with my family. I was out
Oh
somewhere.
no. This could be disastrous. But it's fine. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
I was going to say I've had a bit of an issue in my OpenAI chat. So I was hosting my pictures somewhere that now in the UK, I'm sure if you guys go on there, you can see it, but they won't allow me to view my own images in the UK from this hosting
Oh,
site.
really?
So I got to find another one. So I just used a free one. So I'll just host them somewhere else
Who's the
because
hosting site that you're using?
oh, honestly, I can't remember the name of it. It was just you just set up basically little like almost like portfolio
Yeah.
folders, and all it was is because when you go on to the Luna Witch, she'll pull you a
Mhm.
card, and ask her a question. She'll pull you a coven card and say, "Oh, the owl says blah blah blah," and gives you a bit
Yeah.
of magic. So now she pulls a card, and for me, it just has a massive grey thing saying, "You are not allowed to view this in the UK." Blah blah
Oh,
blah. So, which is rubbish because I'm assuming it's working in other countries, just not for me. So, but that's not ideal. I need to be able to check stuff's working okay. But yeah, and I went into a really cool Discord chat today with Danny.
yeah.
It was the Skelly Friends.
I heard
They
it. I
Oh, were you
replayed it
listening?
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So I feel like Danny's doing a bit of a deep dive into that. So hopefully he's going to be able to get our OpenAI into as an AI agent into Nifty for us. But they were doing whole script.
Mhm.
They've got access to the beta for scripting games within Nifty, which is going to become public very soon. So they created a game where basically you had to collect bones around their island and feed it to this bone collector, and then you scored points on how many bones you collected, and you could only collect 3. Every time you carry a bone, it would slow the character down running, so there was like the maximum you could move with was 3 bones. So
That's
it's
pretty
like,
cool.
yeah, it was really clever. I thought, yes, Danny is a legend, acid.
He is a legend.
He
That
is.
is very
So
good news.
yeah, so it was really fun. I was listening to that whilst I was working, so I'm excited for all the stuff coming up with that. And my last bit of news before we get our guest on is
Oh
the
man, are you gonna share?
first.
You are gonna
Hang
share them.
on, I'm gonna get. Oh, should I dare get it
I
out?
was thinking,
Grab
I was like,
it.
is she gonna share these tonight?
So, if you are a holder of a Luna Witch that has, let me get the light on it right. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's better.
Right
So,
there.
if you are a holder of a Luna Witch that has a gold
This is so cool.
background,
Yeah.
you are going to get a holographic card of your NFT. You just need to get in touch, and that's going to happen. So there's only a few. Danny is a lucky one. That happens to be Danny's. So I thought I'd test with his to make sure they came out really nicely. I can't get it back in the sleeve now. Oh my god, don't bend it. And then the other one is the gold halo as well. So there's not many of these in the collection. But how sick does the gold look in
So
there?
good.
It looks so sexy. And it's got obviously the back, which has got like a gold print on it.
Yeah.
So yes, that's my news. So I'm going to start revealing one by one these little tiered rewards. So yeah, keep an eye out, guys. You might want to start minting more Luna Witches because there's going to be some really cool free stuff coming to certain traits.
Oh
I'm
man,
excited. Oh,
I'm excited.
Danny's there. Futon, yes, gold. He is and yeah, Danny does win everything. Like literally anything
He
to
does.
do
Yeah.
that
I
he does,
remember
he
when
wins everything.
we were opening the cards, he had like all these amazing
He got
cards,
about 4 or
all the
5.
good ones.
We did, and I was just
Amazing.
like packing them up and like stacking
Yeah.
them. So yeah, it's really cool.
Oh,
But
retro.
Retro is here. He was the first here. He was right at the top. So just quickly, if you want a chance to win a Luna Witch tonight, just hashtag in the comments Luna Witch, and I'm gonna try and get the giveaway thing to work. And we'll pick somebody who's commented. So yeah, just hashtag Luna Witch. You never know, maybe you get a gold one.
Hashtag Lunar Witch, guys.
Yes, do that in the comments, and you could win one. But
So I'm hearing that we have an amazing person today.
I
Who do we
am
have?
so excited about this
I'm excited too.
because
You told me about this, and I just deep dive into some research, and it's
I
amazing.
know
Yeah.
this is one of the coolest collections I've seen in ages. Like, it's so funny. I minted 5, and then like within seconds, Acid was like, "Oh, Vicky, I gotta have these as well." So it was like a chain reaction in the FCW. Everyone was like, "Gotta have these bunnies." So I'm really excited
I
to
know they're very cool.
bring him on now. Here we go. Hey Clayton, how are you?
I'm
Hello,
good.
hello.
Yeah, I'm just, relaxing. Got a workout in a little bit ago and
Nice.
kind of winding down for the day. Uh
Oh, that's good.
so yeah,
That's
I'm glad to be here though.
Oh, we're really excited to have you here. So
Yeah,
I sort of had seen some of these bunnies on the timeline, and then I got to chat to you in Danielle's space, which is really cool. And I thought, oh my god, we got to get you on the show so we can share some of this amazing art, because it is like so freaking cool. But
it
yeah,
is very cool.
just before we sort of dive into the collection and stuff, like what's the little bit of your background? Like how did you sort of venture into this Web3 NFT world? When did you sort of find out about NFTs, and did you start off in crypto and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, I feel like this story could go on for maybe an hour or so, so I'll try to keep it brief. Yeah, I think, I really got I would say legitimately interested in crypto in about 2020. And then, obviously I was aware of like the NFT craze in 2021 and stuff like that. And was always kind of more from the traditional investing side of crypto until maybe about 2020 or no 2025 this past year. So just from unfortunate circumstances, I lost some money, and I was like, all right, well, I still really like crypto, so I still want to be in the space. So how can I do that without and like actually do something that I can invest my time in and not really worry about so much the investing side and all that kind of traditional crypto stuff. So I was kind of, just on Twitter and, looking at NFT like communities and spaces. So I was like, let's, join some sort of like community and check things out and see how things are going from that side instead of the so much like serious side of crypto. That's,
Yeah,
from my understanding before really diving into the space, that's what I always thought NFTs were, was just like, people like trading stuff and, back in the day, like how it was with Beanie Babies and Pokemon
Yeah,
cards, stuff like
yeah,
that. Um, so yeah, I found my way into the Solana Devs community. Just started as a community member. Really just saw. I don't even think they had art out yet, but it was like they just said like to get on the whitelist, like engage. So I was just like max engaging. I only had like maybe 100 followers or something
mhm,
like that on Twitter. Or well, was Twitter, now X. But yeah, I um got into that community, really liked the art, wasn't really in it for the utility.
yeah,
But the Solana does do have a lot of utility with their NFTs. So, I just kind of kept buying them and, was maybe minting a little too much sometimes, for what my wallet could afford that week. But, it was kind of like I was doing it for the love of the game. And I almost fell in love with just minting stuff.
yeah,
So like
yeah. I get that.
chasing like the grails, stuff like that. So, and I wasn't only minting Solana debts. I was minting, other NFTs and, just trying to look for like cool art. Not necessarily anything like crazy, like I wanted to make a bunch of money. So kind of to lead into so as of now I am a team member for the Solana Devs. They are
Okay.
actually the devs and creators of Gravement, a platform that just launched
Yeah.
about a month or so ago. That we're doing so many cool things. They're making it more of a fun experience to for a launch pad. We're adding there's something to add like a voice chat, and you got mint parties on the platform
Oh,
instead of
cool.
using X. And we were actually testing the voice chat the other day, and it actually sounds better than X Spaces. So I'm really excited for stuff like that. And yeah, about a month or so ago, I was just dabbling in thinking about, it'd be kind of cool to, launch my own project, this and that. And obviously, I know the artist of the collection through being the artist of the Salon of Deads, Pup Meta. If
Yeah.
Mhm.
anybody knows Pups on Soul,
Yeah.
and he's done the Salon of Deads, the Hellhounds, the Dead Bunnies, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I kind of hit him up and said, hey, this is kind of the vision, and do whatever you want with it. So he had a really good time with it. When we've had him on spaces and just talking to him, it almost feels like he talks like, it's his baby. It's like he has so many projects, but he's like in love with this one right now. So that was all really, really cool to see. And, we added, a couple little traits, like, well, I guess our main trait that I added along with I call him my lead dev, Rune Lord. He's the guy that CTO'd the Dragon Punks. So
Yeah.
he's kind of
Okay.
the head of the Dragon Punks. He helped me kind of, orchestrate, getting through the generation of the collection. And we wanted to add our little, you know, cherry on top of the sundae, and we actually changed up the eyes because all the eyes were actually only like bright red. So we did galaxy, gold, um, ultraviolet, uh, the bluish white ones that I called White Walkers, and then the dark eyes. Um, so that was our little touch to the project, and yeah, I mean it's been crazy. I feel like I was doing a really good job at taking stuff off my plate, and then didn't realize I was going to add double the amount of stuff onto my
Yeah.
plate with this project, but it's been super rewarding because
Yeah.
of everybody in the community, everybody who's shown support. And you look at art and you see really good art, but you don't necessarily know if everyone's going to think the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
it's been super cool to, get all the love and the support from people in the community, people I don't know, are hitting me up and saying like how much they love the art. So, I mean, so far it's just been a really cool experience for me.
So
Yeah.
what really inspired like the concept of undead bunnies for the
Yeah. I was
NFT
about to
collection?
ask that. Yeah. What was the vision?
It really there was no, I guess, vision. I kind of told Pup like, hey, like, well, just because, I'm part of like the Solana Deads and, thinking of like, oh, Dead and then Bunny. And, I started seeing a bunch of bunny collections pop up. Maybe it was
Yeah.
like, something in the back of my mind, like, oh, is like bunnies the meta right now?
Yeah.
Um,
There were. There's
and
quite a. There was quite a few. Like, I think it was last year or maybe the year before. There was quite a few pop up.
right. So I was like, all right, this is kind of, you know, this is kind of, and I didn't really we didn't really give like a big like plan. It was just more like kind of, hey, literally do whatever you want with it. And like
Yeah.
this is
That's
like the base
amazing.
layer. And oddly enough, he came up with something that I think is really awesome. And yeah, it's just it's super cool to have what we have and have the love and support. And then, everyone was asking like, hey, what's like the utility behind it, this and that. As of right now, the utility is the art and the
Yeah.
community. You
Mhm.
know, my main thing was, I wanted to, especially because the market's down, I wanted to inject some life back into the NFT
Yeah.
community and like, people that I'm around. It's like, let's get back to like what it used to be, trading. Like that's kind of the reason why we kept it super affordable. I think whitelist was 0.015, public was 0.03, and we were basically just handing out whitelists to whoever wanted it. When we just like kept telling people on space like, hey, if you need a whitelist, DM me, we'll get it to you, like, no problem. So that was kind of the goal, get it in as
Yeah.
many people's hands as possible. And then, once people start trading it on secondary,
Yeah.
it's still pretty affordable.
Yeah.
So, you can still inject that, trading atmosphere into, secondary without with most people still being able to participate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I loved that when I was listening to you say about it being sort of art first, because I kind of feel like if you're buying because you love the art, like you're never going to be rugged because you just love the art. So it's like, that's always why I buy NFTs generally is that is if it resonates with me and I'm like, oh my god, I need to have that,
Yeah.
which is, if you're like grown up in that culture of Garbage Pail Kids and Pokemons, and that's just in your DNA, I think, to be wanting to trade and swap and kind of chase certain visual elements, so I do love that.
I'm curious to know what made you choose Solana as the blockchain.
Because Phantom is the easiest to use, in my opinion. It's pretty simple. I maybe it was either I felt like it was the easiest to use, or it was just what I was using the most. So I get everyone has their own choice. But yeah, I felt like Solana is relatively widely used, I feel like, in the NFT world right now.
Yeah, at the moment it seems like everything I see that I love at the minute is on Solana. That's how I feel. It's like I've minted so much in the last couple of weeks on Solana.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of just felt like the right fit, and because a lot of the ecosystems that I kind of involve myself in running, it was just like, yeah, let's just stick with what we know and kind of go from there.
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm just scooting through, and Nikki is having a meltdown over the hot pink. She's like, oh my god.
Yeah, oddly enough, when I was reserving the ones for my wallet, another cool thing about the Gradement platform is you can go in and like reserve a bunch that you want for specific wallets. So like if let's say you made a bunch of 101s for people, you could go in, reserve them, and they just mint and it goes straight to their wallet.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was something that was super convenient during the the mint process. But yeah, I found I was like, oh wow, I just picked a lot of because I did customs. Yeah, I did customs, and then as soon as I generated, I went through the whole collection and just started picking out ones that I thought that were cool because obviously I wanted to add a decent amount to the treasury. And once I got done, I was like, wow, I have a lot of pink. I didn't see myself as a pink guy, but I guess I am.
I guess you are, yeah. No, but it's a very cool pink. It's very hot pink. It's almost like neon, isn't it? It's really pops. In fact, I could imagine one of these printed with neon ink that you could like light it with a black light. Can you imagine that? That would be just so cool. I'm already thinking how I'm going to print these off and have them in my studio.
Yeah. I have two questions. Like, what makes Dead Bunnies unique compared to like other animal theme NFT projects, and why did you choose like the 2,500 bunnies specifically for that supply?
What makes them unique? I don't think I've ever really thought of that, to be honest. I feel like, yeah, I feel like, well, and I feel like that's kind of been in the back of my mind. Like, hey, what separates me from other NFT art? I feel like, or maybe it's Pup's style. Like, because a lot of times when you see Pup's artwork, you can tell it's his. But it doesn't feel. It feels more lifelike. Maybe that's the right way to phrase it. It's not so much like picturesque. It's like I can see that bunny like being like it just pops off the screen, I guess is the way to say it. Is it a characteristic?
Yeah.
I'd say so. For me, that's what I love about them, is that almost kind of graphic novel style to them. They definitely have a life to them that is like not flat. They're not flat at all. They kind
of they almost feel 3D.
Yeah, they do.
They do,
and the styling is like straight away I can imagine them in a graphic novel or like a manga style comic, or you know what I mean. They've got that kind of nod to that sort of almost slightly Japanese kind of cartoony kind of vibe.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're very
congratulations on selling out, by the way.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
thank you, I appreciate that. I'm actually going to share my screen here. These are some of my favorites.
Okay, let me add you to the screen. Let me remove this. Hang on 2 seconds. Stop share. Add the bunny. Oh, hang on. Let me do this big. Move it across. Sorry, I have to tinker around. There we go. Ooh, look at these.
Yeah, so the one all the way on the left is actually the most rare one in the collection.
Oh, wow.
Mostly because the gold traits, like the stunner shades, the
Yeah, those are
jacket, the
cool.
tee, and then the eyes. You obviously can't see them, but I made sure to make them more rare. I added the gold eyes.
Yeah.
Were all rare traits, and then the immaculate crown was also can't remember out of the traits which rarity it was, but it was like top 3. So that one's the rarest one. The Super Bunny one, there's
Lovely.
only 4 in the collection, I believe.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and then the pirate one on the right
Yeah.
um, was kind of inspired by the co-founder of the Solana Deads and Dev of Gravement. He's
Yeah.
like a huge pirate guy, so he's probably mad that I haven't sent it to him. But I don't know if I could let it go, especially
No.
because I've been sending some to people that are looking for certain traits, and I just had some extras in the treasury that I was like, maybe I could let it go, and then I tell people right after I press send, I was like, that actually hurt my heart to press send. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
can
I'm
imagine.
giving away some of my kids. So
Yeah, I get
um,
that.
Yeah.
it was kind of interesting to feel that way, but
I
no, it's
I love
that and
the pirate hits really hard. That but the black, all black on the gold is like it hits really hard. That I love it.
right, and like maybe not so much the gold one, but the Super Bunny and the pirate one, I feel like would just be great like on merch, like on a
Oh
t-shirt or
yeah, for
something.
sure.
So, that's kind of like where, a lot of people are like, hey, like what's happening next, this and that. Well, obviously I'm not 100% sure, the direction of the project. But I think, a nice little starter would definitely be merch. So,
Yeah,
just
for
looking into
sure.
that, just cause, I'm obviously super new to like I guess you could say the founder side
Yeah.
of Web3 and NFTs. So obviously, I got a lot of people around me that I can ask questions and other founders. So it's not like I'm short on knowledge. It's
No.
more taking it slow, making sure it's done right, and I'm kind of always falling back on like I'm really want to stay true to making promises that I can keep. Because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that, a
Makes
lot of
sense.
times when people are asking for utility, projects like come out with like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going
Yeah.
to do that, and then
Mhm.
nothing happens. So,
I mean,
I definitely don't want to do that.
yeah.
And, if nothing happens, that's kind of what I'm, setting up for. Hey, this is, an art collection community. And if it goes somewhere, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think
at the
that's
end
really
of the day, yeah.
sensible. I do think that's sensible, and I think we had that discussion the other day in on Sunday. Where
Yeah.
I think me and Fraser had that very same discussion, like where do we do a roadmap, don't we? And we kind of did. We called it an evolution, and sort of said, this is going to change and develop, and the timeline might change, and we weren't over promising anything crazy. We were just like, oh, we'd like to do trading cards, we'd like to do merch, and we've done all that stuff much quicker than we thought we would. But back in the day, there were some crazy promises from NFT collections, like from holidays to yachts to flipping all
Yeah.
sorts of
Yeah.
crap. And I always struggled like going into spaces talking about our bounties, because you kind of felt those guys talking all that rubbish kind of made you feel like you didn't want to sound like you were talking rubbish as well. It made me really paranoid about saying, "Oh, well, we've got really nice bounties on one of ones and all that kind of thing." So I do totally get why you made that choice, for sure.
Right. And not to keep shouting out Gravement too much because this is about
No, we'll
dead
share
bunnies,
that
but that
actually. Let's have a look at
that
it.
that was something that was really cool. Okay, so actually two things. One, you can add an animation to like a feature if you
This
have
is
it up
very
there.
cool. Yeah.
And then as the
Oh, that is-
creator on the creator side, you can actually add. You can either just pick the NFT. Well, actually, no, you have to pick which NFT it's going on, but you can pick a bounty on one of the NFTs.
Okay,
So
very
as
cool.
soon as you can either be a free mint or it can be like a certain token for a certain amount.
Mhm.
So, and they'll even on the mint page, they'll say there's like, let's just say like 11 bounties worth, 11 soul out there. So as soon as they hit that NFT, it goes straight into their wallet in a transaction. You don't have to track people down for their wallets, this and that. And so I thought that was like another super cool feature
Yeah.
for the creator to add to, their collection.
Yeah. That is very
Pretty cool.
that it is a really I've start it's funny. I'm This is the first time I've minted on the platform, minting the dead bunnies, and then recently um I've noticed more people saying, "Oh, we're gonna launch on Gravemint," and I thought, "Oh, that's really interesting." And it's like, it's obviously really resonating with people because I've gone from never hearing about it to hearing about it quite a bit, which is really exciting. It's good to have these new launch plans, I think, that are
Yeah,
off.
and it's like the main theme I feel like that Rogue has been trying to do behind it is, make it more social.
Yeah,
Kind of like we're saying with, because well, at first he kind of came out with the live mint parties of it was just a chat. And then recently we've been testing like the voice chat part of it, which only the creator can start. A normal just like text chat, anybody can actually start, unless the creator comes along and like starts their own. Anybody can actually start it on the platform, which is kind of cool.
that's kind of
But yeah,
cool.
you have like profiles, this and that. So yeah, a really big social aspect part of it,
Yeah,
and then you can gain XP.
yeah. I
I
was about
think
to
at
ask
some
about that.
point for like the Dead's merch store, I think I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Super cool from the social aspect of it, and I feel like it's kind of like the Dead Bunnies. It's like bringing fun back to NFTs is really like the main goal
Yeah,
of like him, and I think maybe that kind of inspired me in this collection. It's like let's bring back life into the space and let's just not make it so much PvP.
yeah,
Any
yeah,
collaborations that you're working on?
Right now not so much. Obviously because Rune Lord helped me do so much of like the generations, and he's doing the Dragon Punks.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be something more storyline into that at some point in time. Like he with the Dragon Punks, he's really trying to go the Pudgy Penguin route.
Yeah.
Um, so, he was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, at some point, we'll use the bunnies." I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool, whatever." I'm always down for stuff like that, and yeah, I'm always open.
Hmm.
I'm not somebody who is super like high and mighty, like I'm too big for anybody else. It's like
oh gosh, yeah,
I'm always open for suggestions, this and that, and like even in our Discord, I'm like, "Hey, like I don't really know where to start necessarily. So, I'm leaving this up to like all voices. Like let's like what do people want? Like what do people want to see next for Dead Bunnies?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
always super open to pretty much anything.
Yeah, I think that's really nice to involve the community and see what they how they see, because they'll have a vision for it as well, and it gets everyone excited. Like even when I was doing my trading cards, I was getting my community to mint on which ones should be one of ones, for example, and holographic and that kind of thing. And it just, people like to have that input, because they've bought into you as an idea, and then to allow them to shape that is a really cool thing, I think.
Right. And I feel like, a lot of times, especially, and this was a really big theme with Bravement, like, we're some places, they do kind of act, I guess you could say, all high and mighty and like, hey, it works for us, so like we're not going to change. Like you can
Yeah,
suggest something, but they don't really care. It's like it they're making their bottom line, and like why would they change something that works? So you know I've always been super um open, I think, because that's how like Rogue has been with Gravement. It's like the bounty system. So before, like halfway through the mint, people kept asking me like if they hit bounties or not, and I was kind of getting tired of like responding to it. I was like, all right, you'll see a pop up because that's what you can do. You could do like a little message with it, like congratulations or whatever,
yeah,
and then it'll go straight to your wallet. But I was like, hey, like, can we add like a little like banner to the NFT saying like, hey, you hit the 0.111 soul bounty? He's like, yeah, give me 5 minutes. I was like, oh, thanks,
oh,
cool.
that's so cool. Yeah, that is
So yeah,
cool.
he's super open to stuff like that. So if any creators are out there that does want to launch on Gradement, we are a platform for creators to want to innovate. It's
Yeah,
not you if you're coming with questions, there's no bad question or no
yeah,
bad idea.
I
You
love
can
that.
maybe be told no because it's like too crazy, but we always say closed mouths don't get fed. So That's kind of what we say a lot of times.
Yeah, which is good because in spaces, I'm obviously not going to say who and what, but recently I've heard people moaning a little bit about some launch platforms where they've had a query or an issue and they're like, not my problem.
Yeah.
Like literally and it's like,
Yeah, or
well,
it
hang
takes them
on a
like a
minute.
month to get back to them.
Yeah, so that's I've because who we had on last week, Poisonous Pinups, like
Yeah.
he's working a lot with Soul Tricks, which they're trying to do a similar sort of thing. They're on Solana, they're trying to gamify mints a little bit more, where you can shuffle traits and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's really exciting to see how people are like, oh, we're fed up of these like standard launch pads that don't really offer anything, so we're going to build something ourselves and speak to the community and get people to launch and sort of test and say what they'd like to see in the next version of it. And it's a very exciting time for builders, I think, in the NFT space at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think, there is there needs to be change. There's room for change.
Yeah.
And if you don't challenge the status quo, nothing will change and nothing will be innovative. So that's kind of, I feel like what we're doing and other people are doing. So it's a net positive for the NFT community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Nikki just commented, check 657. She's put, so I think she's just picked this one up. She was on.
That's fire.
It's really cool with the pink and the grey.
I'm curious to know with Solana, because I'm not very familiar with launching on Solana, but any like challenges that you face during like event and all that you want to talk about?
Not that I know of. So the Swan of Dead's created actually it's called Boneforge. So like that's the generator I used. And it's an extremely seamless integration with Gravemint. I guess that's kind of like the perk of using it. So not that I really know of, and I guess unfortunately I might not be the best person to actually respond to that, just because I'm so new into like the NFT generation side of it. But the other artists that we've talked about in team meetings about and stuff like that, and even Pup, he's always, if you ask him about Boneforge, he's always super giddy about it. So when I hear like someone who's like, I guess you can kind of call him higher up on like the artist side of it and generation side of it, speak so glowingly about it, that's kind of where I can be like, all right, if Pup has those feelings, then you kind of know it's something pretty legit.
Well, you being new to the to like the whole thing, like what's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
It's a lot of work.
It's no idea.
It's everyone wants to launch a project until they launch it, and then they are like, okay, this is too much to handle. I mean, the last the 2 weeks leading up to Mint, the week after Mint went live, I was at the computer screen, if I wasn't at my IRL job, or I mean even when I was at my IRL job, I was either on my phone, and when I got home I was at my computer screen in the DMs, going over whitelist stuff, just looking at the Mint, adding bounties, checking over stuff again. So it's just be prepared for a lot of work, but in the end usually hard work pays off. So
well, and not forgetting the work that Pep has put in as well, like on the
right.
art, like because I'm the artist of our collection and I worked on that for 16 months, I think it was. Like it was like insane because you were doing it in between your day job and like spare afternoons, spare hours.
He did it I think he did it in like 2 weeks.
Jesus,
wow,
wept.
that's crazy.
Sorry.
I think he liked it so much he probably just wasn't stopping at points.
Yeah. If you've got
so
the time, that I mean, I think if I had to do another collection, I'd probably just be like, right, I'm penciling out 2 weeks from work and just hammering it, because it's so hard to pick it up and put it down, pick it up, put it down.
Right.
Yeah, I
and a lot of
that.
times, a lot of times when you give artists like, hey, this is my laundry list, it feels like more of a chore for them. so they don't enjoy it, and it's
It's
more
very
work than it is like play. So maybe
Yeah,
they
for
they
sure.
don't get through it as quickly.
Yeah, I think probably because he has just free reign to kind of just be himself with the collection. You can tell. I mean, the different traits that you can see, the love and the passion that's gone into this. It's insane. He's super talented.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was, as soon as I got into Boneforge and saw, all
yeah.
the traits and stuff like that, I was like, dude, this is. I
Bet
was
you
not
couldn't believe your
expecting what I
eyes.
got. No, yeah, I was thinking, like, I was like, wow, he did this in that amount of time. It doesn't feel real.
No,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's great. I
What's your
love the
favorite
wood
bunny
art.
trait that you have?
This is hard, but
I told you
It's
I
there,
ask
really
hard
difficult.
questions, man.
I
yeah.
know.
So
Let's have a look. Oh, I forgot.
it's either the super bunny that I showed you guys.
Yeah.
So just because there's not that many in the collection, or there is the astronaut trait. So I think it's
Oh,
called
okay.
Dead Spaceman, and there's only
Let me have a
4 of
look.
those.
Oh, I want to see those.
Space. I'm looking through the traits now. Sorry, I'm not just like weirdly looking on
A
the
lot of
inside.
traits.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of clothing.
Would that be, let's have a look. Grave coat, dark night bunny, zombie sapphire.
It's a dark night bunny.
Oh,
I
you
want
want
to
to
see
see
that.
that? You want to see that?
Yes.
Oh, see, I was lucky enough to get a wizard hat, which I freaking couldn't believe.
Oh, that's cool.
I loved my wizard hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a wizard that was, because we have a guy on the team that the Swan and Dutch team that's super into wizards. So I made like an almost Voldemort
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
inspired wizard.
Yeah.
If you see the background called Down the Rabbit Hole,
Yeah.
you can find it super
Oh,
easy.
okay. Let's have a look.
Let me ask you, do you have any plans of expanding to other chains by any chance? Or no?
No, not right now.
Oh, is this him?
Where? Oh god, I have too many tabs up. Okay, yes, that's it right there.
Yeah.
So it actually started with a blood red background, and then we actually added this Down the Rabbit Hole background
Love
like
it.
a couple days before Mint went live.
Love it.
So yeah, I thought this one was super cool. And then like I said, if I can find it here, I don't try to think of the traits.
Oh, and this is your PFP, isn't it? That is like so like
Yeah, that's pretty
Alice
cool.
in Wonderland. Mad. Oh,
Yeah,
it is a
there's
Mad Hatter. There we go.
another funny thing about that trait is I wanted it to be rare. Rune Lord was like, no, man, like people are gonna want it. So like then, we thought we made it not very rare at all, and
It's
then it actually
0.08.
there's only 2 of them.
Yeah,
So
brilliant.
that's another thing when people are playing around with rarities is you got to be careful, because if you're going through the rarities and making something too rare, if you generate and you just random generate instead of like picking through the traits, because you can pick all 2500 if you really wanted to, but then it would take so much more time, and I don't think there's necessarily a need to do that, but some people want to do that.
Oh, that one's cool.
That's lush. Look at that.
So yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Sorry, that was me.
Sorry.
Excited
No, it's
over your
okay.
gold bunnies.
Yeah. We got excited looking at this
I'm
gold
sorry,
one.
we both were like, ooh.
Oh, found it.
It's like
Okay.
looking at a candy bar. Like I feel like
So,
this collection is so exciting to look at.
Dead Bunny 269.
269. Let's have a look. Take that off. 269. Oh, there he is. I'm saying is a he. He might be a she. That is really cool.
So that the spacesuit, there's only 4 of those in the collection. So the Mad Hatter clothing, the spacesuit, and then the Super Bunny are the rarest clothing traits.
Yeah, that is
so yeah, I would say either the Super Bunny clothing trait, or the astronaut.
I have to say, I think the astronaut's my favorite. It's really cool, but I get anxiety when we talk about astronauts because Miguel had had a space ant in his collection that we were all trying to mint, and we didn't get. Luna got it, didn't she? And it was like,
Yeah.
it is cool. And you've got these traits that are like, people are like,
Someone
gimme,
asked,
gimme,
"Where's the
gimme.
space helmet?" There's no space helmet in the collection, but there is a biker helmet or a racer helmet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, these
So
are very cool.
yeah, I mean, it was a little overwhelming when I saw all the traits, because I was like, well, like, is there like too many traits? But no, I think
No, I think it's
everything
good,
kind of everything kind of evened itself out really well, and I kind of made the puffer jackets a little more common, just because I thought it added more of like a fashion vibe
Yeah,
to the
definitely.
collection. So I really like how that turned out as well.
And I love that because you can see the potential to have a Dead Bunny's actual puffer jacket, which is branded and
Yes.
kind, you know what I mean? You can,
Right. Yeah.
people would love to have access to something
Yeah.
like that, you know?
Right.
It's really cool. I love the axe in the head on this one. So
Yeah, that's one of the more rare traits as well.
Yeah,
So
love it.
that I think there's, I don't know if you've seen if you click on the Super Bunny trait, it'll show you the headshot.
That is such a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 super bunnies.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the
Oh, wow.
orange,
Agree.
yeah, the one that has the orange background, that trait called headshot.
Oh god,
That's
yeah, he's got the arrow
a
through his
more
head.
That is
rare
pretty cool. Yeah.
trait as well.
I'm
You know
Yeah,
what's one?
I thought that one was super interesting.
Yeah, I'm all
Yeah,
for
that
the
is
axe. I
beautiful.
feel like
I do like that.
it's not subtle at all. It's just
Yeah.
there. It's just
Well,
there
and
in
then
his head.
with I forget what the trait is. Okay, so I'm looking at, let's see, eyewear, the red mist perception. So the ones that were, I think, like they're different colors obviously, but it's like the cutout of the eyewear actually makes it look like it's like melting almost
Yeah,
on
it
some of
doesn't. It
the
really does.
some of
Yeah.
the heads. So I thought that was just like a super like interesting way that he like actually drew the glasses to make it almost add an extra effect on it.
Yeah. It's almost like it's melting into the lenses. It's really yeah, it shows more on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our work's sick, man. Like
It
our
is,
work
isn't it?
is really good.
I was
Yeah.
like instantly obsessed, and when you minted out, it's like, God damn, I meant to get some more. So I'll
Yeah.
definitely be picking up on the secondary for sure. Because
You know
Yeah,
what else?
I was a little sad when it minted. Oh, most people wouldn't be sad if their collection minted out fast, but like I felt like more people, maybe missed out on it. But
people will buy on the secondary because this, like you
Oh
say,
yeah.
they're really affordable,
Yeah, people will
and
definitely
the
buy.
more you start sharing the artwork on the timeline, it's like,
I haven't even put my hands on it yet.
I know. Well, God, look out.
You know what's I when I was doing my homework, I noticed that you do a lot of spaces and stuff like that. Like, what's one question you wish people asked about dead bunnies?
one question. There's one question I know I wish they would stop asking.
Go, tell
And
us.
which one?
What's the utility?
Oh,
Yeah.
so I know
Because that tells me right away that
you can't.
they're not necessarily 100% in love with
Then
the
for
art.
the art. Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
be a bit controversial here because I think I
Okay.
got a bit a bit, oh, what's the word? I can't even think. I'm trying to be polite. I hate it when you go into a space and I feel like people come up and ask you awkward questions in order to try and it's like they're trying to catch you out on a lie, and I really
Yeah.
hate that. It's not what community's about. It's not welcoming. It actually puts a bit of a tension, and genuinely the person who you're asking that question, I was in a space, it was a couple of weeks ago now, and somebody from their community came up and were coming at me so hard, and I thought, I've actually been in this space longer than you guys, and people know me, and I'm very open, and I'm completely doxed, and they it's like they were trying to make out I was lying about the fact that I had a co-founder. They were like, sometimes you say we, sometimes you say I, and I was like, yeah, because sometimes I make decisions, sometimes we make decisions, and it was like they were trying to catch me out, and and you know what, I thought, I won't be going back in that space. That's not my vibe at all. I was really open and honest, and I'm all about the art, I'm all about community. I host spaces like this to lift other projects, because we should be all trying to win together. So I don't like that, and then I hate those utility questions where I'm like, well, if you don't like the art, don't buy the NFT. It's you know, it's really frustrating, and it
Well, right,
feels,
and that was kind of like the whole point to try to stop people from
yeah,
having those
exactly,
reservations
yeah,
was, all right, keep the art cheap, and if you're upset about losing a couple of, and don't get me wrong, I understand in certain parts of the world, a couple of dollars is
is
a
a
lot of money
lot.
to
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is
But
definitely.
for most people, I feel like that are in the NFT buying game, it's affordable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're going to be upset about losing that amount of money, I can't
Well,
help
what
you.
you
I don't know
no,
what to tell you.
no. And
So
I feel like as well that question is really pointless on when the art is so cool, it's really affordable. Now, if they were buying an NFT that was like $200-300, then
right,
yeah, that's a question, right? That
Yeah.
is
I
definitely a
agree.
question. But
Yeah.
anything sort of $5, $10, $20, like that is not a question that needs to be asked. I feel like if you like the art and you like
right. It's
seeing
like
it in your
you're buying a
wallet,
cup of coffee. Like,
yeah,
what do you want
you'd
from me?
waste that on a coffee and a
Yeah.
sandwich in Starbucks, right? I feel, yeah, it, I, I, I get a bit defensive about it because I've been around a while, and
Yeah.
early on, my experience in spaces, I don't think it was as pleasant as it is now. Spaces were a little bit more like that, and being quite often I was the only female founder on a panel, and I felt like I used to feel really, they'd ask me questions in a way that they wouldn't ask other guys in the space, so
Mhm.
I'd be like, what, you didn't ask the last project that, why are you asking me that? I felt like there was like a slightly bullying element of it because they felt they can't anymore, because obviously I've been here a bit longer, and I'm just like, I haven't got time for that. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that sort of, and to say you're doing it to kind of protect community when it's only a few dollars, it's crazy. Yeah, it's insane to me. I don't like it. Spaces shouldn't be gate kept. They should be
Right.
about community for me,
Yeah.
and art. We've often said it, haven't we, Miguel? Like the art is like the soul of Web3, right? Is what
It
keeps it
is. Yeah.
exciting. It's what keeps
100%.
it lively. Without it, what would it be? Just a load of charts, right? It'd just be
Yeah.
like
Right.
nothing
And
else.
like yeah, so like I host a space on Saturday and Sunday, and I feel like when you're kind of the host of the space, people definitely don't like question you as much because I can just boot them right away and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
Yeah.
exactly.
when you go up on spaces and because I've been in both, within the
Yeah,
last week or so, some are a little bit more welcoming than others, and it's just like when I'm in the ones that are like, there. I think it was even in that space there was someone who was, asking valid questions, but were slightly, like you were saying, tried to almost trip me up, and then
that's how it
I
felt
think
to
it was
me. Yeah,
Danielle's.
yeah.
Is that her husband or
No, it wasn't. It was just
her
somebody from the
boyfriend?
community. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
some,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
somebody in Danielle's space. Well, no, somebody in Danielle's space was defending me.
Oh, that was
So
her husband, yes. And it was me.
yes,
And it was me. I think I went in a bit
right,
like, "Guys,
yeah,
come
I
on,
think you
just
jumped in as well.
calm
Yeah, it's
down.
so
This
it's
is
like,
like, it's supposed to be fun."
and that's where I
Oh, yeah. You were
felt
telling me.
welcome. So it's like, someone kind of, they didn't really attack me, but
No.
they're trying to trip me up, and then you guys kind of came to my defense, and stuff like that. It makes people, like myself and creators, um, I feel more welcome because I
Yeah.
actually kind of didn't
Mhm.
want to dox in general.
No, no, no. And that's your
Coming
choice. You
into
don't
the
have to. Like, I feel like that's
Yeah.
your
You don't have to do that.
prerogative. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I said to you straight away, don't feel like you have to use the camera. Come on as your PFP. No, when
right. Well,
when
and I
you
wasn't even going to tell anybody like that it was my project, like in general.
yeah.
So, but
Oh.
then, people were kind of like, kept coming with like the, who's behind the and I was like, whatever. I'm in the space, people around me kind of know who I am. So maybe it is to my benefit to let like people know like who it is. Um, so, it, I would say, I guess to everybody, like, hey, um, maybe be a little bit more kind and
Yeah, I think
don't go
can't
after people right away. You can ask challenging questions, but don't like try to get after people because not everybody in this space is trying to scam you.
yeah, and also
Yeah.
it is, and also people don't like, when early on, like I found space is really intimidating thing. Like that was quite a it was quite a challenge for me. I'm naturally a little bit shy. I worry a lot, and I get a bit anxious about stuff, and what people think of me, what people think of my art. So when people come at you like that, it's especially early on, in when you're sort of launching a project, you're like, oh shit, it makes you feel really anxious about going to any space, because you're like, I don't want
yeah,
that.
it did,
I
for
don't
sure.
want that confrontation. I just want to hang out and get to know people. So I think kindness goes a long way, and like generally, like any space I host or Miguel hosts, or like we've got like a group of buddies, the FCW we host, is we just come up, chat, hang out. It's like you don't even have to talk about your collection. You could just like have a
Talk
laugh.
about anything.
Right.
And I think that's how it should be. And I think that's definitely what me and Danielle are aiming for on a Sunday. Was just like, so I was a bit gutted when it sort of went a little bit, and her husband's amazing, like he jumped in straight away, so but yeah, I don't think anything was meant by it. It just felt like a little antagonistic, right?
A little bit, yep. Passive
But
aggressive.
yeah, passive aggressive, that's the right word. And I felt it was all stuff that you'd answered already, right, as well.
Right.
So I don't know, but I think spaces
I get it. It's
are
part of the territory
tricky.
of the
It
space,
is,
so
yeah, it
I know
is.
who I am, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, I think kindness goes a long way in these spaces, because we're all here. If one of us mint out, everyone wins, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like it's all
Right.
good for spreading the word, like growing crypto and Web3 space in general. So yeah,
Good stuff.
I love the community element of, I wasn't expecting it. I don't know about you, but if it can be really joyous, like meeting people and
It
getting
is
to know
very.
different
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I mean, I would have never pictured myself on, doing this interview, hosting spaces. Like, I generally am not someone who likes talking. And like
We got
even before
158 people listening right now.
yeah, even before my spaces, I get like sometimes I still get like really like anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though like I get on them, and I'm with people like that I'm friends with, like my co-host, and it once I get on there, it feels normal. But
Yeah.
I guess if that tells you anything about me, I'm generally like IRL, I'm more of a quiet person.
Yeah.
So it's been nice that the NFT side of Web3 brought out a different side of me that
Yeah.
I never really thought
It does that.
existed or would ever exist.
100%. That's exactly how
Yeah.
I felt. Yeah, because I remember, well, even now actually, because I went through a stage of hosting Cute and Creepy Gang spaces quite regularly. Then I stopped, and then I've started them back up this last couple of weeks, and I'm like panicking, going, "Oh, is anyone going to come? What am I going to talk about? Like, if I'm the only person speaking?" Because my co-founder's not comfortable with being on spaces, and he's got a very busy family life, so it tends to be just me, which is why I'm so glad I found Miguel, because he's like my wingman. So yeah, it's just like, oh god, what we're gonna, and I do
Stuck
get a bit
forever.
hot and flushed, and kind of like so it is probably been the biggest challenge for me, I think, personally. But I love these shades, by the way.
Those are cool. Yeah.
They're very cool. I feel like
And then there's, I guess, my favorite actual shades though are the twisted shades.
Oh, okay.
So there's a teal and a white version of them.
Okay. Oh, look at these.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah,
those
those are
are,
cool.
when it comes to the sunglasses, those are my favorite sunglasses, probably, just because they're more on the rare side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
Any shout outs to the community members or partners that you wanna shout out?
Yeah, I mean, I call him my lead dev, Rune Lord. He, has helped me so much through this process, and I honestly could not have done it without him. The Solana Dead's team, the Grave Mint, all the, people around me. I wasn't short of helping hands is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I try to tell people is like, if you just find a community find a supporting community, it's a lot easier to be successful, not kind of fall into ruts or be down in like down markets and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it really does go a long way to find like a community that you feel like a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not just one out there. There's plenty good communities out there. But that's kind of what I suggest to everybody is like, you're not alone in this. You can find your people. Just find your people, and then you're always gonna have people you can always lean on.
Yeah.
Very
We
true.
always called it fight. We found our tribe, and I met like loads of guys, and it's like it's funny. I'm in my 40s, and when I came into Web3, I thought this is the first time in my life that I feel like I belong somewhere, and I found like really like-minded people because I'm like creative for a living. I'm graphic designer, but in terms of art, I'd never found those people who had that same mindset, and it's been super exciting meeting people who kind of got that same vision
Yeah.
that you have,
Agree.
and who you can show your work in progress to and say, oh, what do you reckon, can you help me out with this, or if you're not, there's a bit of tech you don't know, they can help you. It's really not something I've experienced in the creative world IRL that I've experienced in Web3. That's been the key
Yeah.
difference for me.
Well, yeah,
Definitely.
and if you're a part of let's just say an NFT community and you want to kind of start your own little side project or passion
Mhm.
project, a lot of communities, might shun you, be like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to do something, that's not us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it's like, I never got any of that pushback or resistance. So it's always been a pretty good experience. And I feel like if you find a good community, most good communities will always support you kind of no matter
Yeah.
what. And you
Yeah.
don't need to
Very
worry
true.
about stuff like that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Finally, where can listeners like find more about Dead Bunnies and
yeah,
like
let's
join the
get
community?
your. We've got
All
your.
right. So if you go to our X page, there's a Discord link up in the
Yep.
bio. That'll lead you to the Dragon Punks Discord, where we have a shared Discord right now. Obviously, at some point,
You'll have your own.
when we get a little bit bigger, we'll kind of probably have our own Discord, but that's where we're at right now. We have a trade channel. If people need a safe place to trade their dead bunnies, we're kind of acting like an escrow. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there is a safe place to be trading wise. It's and yeah, just hop in there, hop in the channels. We're just kind of bouncing in and out of there during the day, and this is a small community. Obviously, a bunch of different people from other communities are kind of in there, and new people, and it's growing, and hopefully one day we're kind of much larger community that's kind of leading the way and partnering with people, and just setting an example, for what NFTs are really supposed to be about.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So the X handle is Dead Bunnies HQ. If anyone wants to go and hop on, give them a follow, check out Discord, check out the collection. That'd be amazing. Um, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was honestly a pleasure to be here, a pleasure to meet both of you. Like we were kind of talking about earlier, maybe we'll do a follow up in a couple months, see
Yeah,
where we're at.
definitely. I'd
Sure.
love that.
Maybe, and I was thinking, maybe just maybe I'll do a little full docs. Who knows?
Who
I-
knows?
I'm I'm not
No,
always
what?
opposed to it because I know at some point, if this ever got to a certain uh, size, you kind of have to be a public
Yeah,
figure,
I
kind
guess
of.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's
so
important to do that
yeah,
It
to a
is.
certain
Yeah.
people like seeing that, and sometimes
Yes.
it even benefits the project. Is like
Yep.
Oh, I think so.
especially when you
Yeah.
see like streamers, like you'll watch like them playing or playing games or whatever, but as soon as like they put on their face cam, it's like they start to get thousands of more viewers. So it's like people want to know who's behind it, and I get that. And
Yeah.
right now I'm not quite ready, but
No, no.
never say never.
No, there's no hurry, is there? It's you're in spaces a lot, so people are getting to know you without having to
Right.
see you. You could just come on in like a giant Donnie Darko rabbit suit with the glowing
Yeah.
eyes.
No, I could
That
definitely do that. Yeah.
be awesome. But yeah, well, thank you so much. Just quickly before we go, everyone, if you wanted a chance to win a Lunar Witch, do a quick hashtag Lunar Witch in case you weren't here earlier on. you could win one. And I also wanted to shout out everyone who's been listening. So we've had Nikki, Hans,
Everyone's here.
DJP, everyone's here. Retro, Spider X, Acid, Wick. Yeah, loads of people watching and commenting. So yeah, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to Hans, because after he saw that
Shout out to
lovely
Hans. Yeah.
because he's just minted 7 Lunar Witches.
Oh, God.
Because he wanted a gold background and he got one. So
Of course it did.
so of course he did. So he'll be getting a card, which is amazing. So he'll be getting
That is
those
cool.
bad
Yeah.
boys. So yeah,
Hans is such a big supporter.
he
So
is.
good.
He's so
Such a good guy.
kind. He just
Yeah.
wants everyone to like be their best and win.
Yeah. He
And
wants everybody to
yeah,
win.
he does.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
Love him.
But yeah, so thanks again. I suppose let's
Yeah.
go back to our main screen. Yeah, thanks, Clayton. Well, hopefully we'll meet you again in a few months maybe, and you'll have some more news, and we'll catch you in
Yeah.
spaces
For
as
sure.
well.
We'll bring you back.
No, definitely. I appreciate you having me on and all the support, and I appreciate everybody out there.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Cool. So anything you wanted to add before we go for the evening? We need to do our little giveaway, don't we?
We do. Yeah.
Let me see. Hang on, I've got a giveaway announcement screen here. Let me see if I can remember how to do it. Right, start giveaway. Here we go. Please don't be me. I saw my own name then. I was like, no. Oh my God, it's Danny.
Danny got it. Wow.
Congratulations, Danny. He wins everything.
Yeah, congrats.
So you're the winner of the Lunar Witch, dude.
That's cool.
I'll send you a DM. I know I have your wallet address.
Yeah.
Because you win everything. So yeah, so amazing. Thank you very much. Yes. So that's been Coven Radio for the evening.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you very much. See
you next time.
Next time. Good night, guys.